What's going on, everybody? It's Warren, and yesterday we got the second official trailer for Avengers Endgame. It was really awesome, and we definitely got way more than I thought we would get. But out of all of the footage that we have, the footage from this trailer, from the first trailer, from the Super Bowl TV spot, we have not seen the Hulk. In fact, we really haven't even seen Bruce Banner that much in any of the footage. Well, there's a lot of rumors going around right now, and there have been theories out there that have stated that we're going to see Worldbreaker Hulk in Avengers Endgame, and that's why they're covering it up. Now, Worldbreaker Hulk is insanely powerful. Many people say he is the strongest Hulk by far. So in this video, I'll talk a little bit about his backstory and how we could see him and how it would make sense for him to appear in Avengers Endgame. If you're new to my channel, I'm doing a giveaway right now, giving away 5 IMAX tickets so you and some friends can go see Avengers Endgame in IMAX. If you'd like to enter for your chance to win, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment down below with your thoughts and your favorite superhero or villain. So, some of Worldbreaker Hulk's story has already been set up in the MCU, but obviously they're not going to take the story from the comics and just have it play out in the movies. The Russo brothers have already said they don't do that, although they do draw inspiration from the comics. So, just a quick backstory on Worldbreaker Hulk for those of you who don't know about him. In the Worldbreaker Hulk story, Stephen Strange, Tony Stark, Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four, and Black Bolt all decide that the Hulk is too dangerous to keep on Earth. So, they knock him out and they send him off into space in a spaceship. The original plan was to send him to a planet that had only plant life and no other life, so he couldn't hurt anybody. However, he wakes up mid-flight and he sees a message from those 4 who he thought were his friends, and he becomes enraged and he loses it, and this knocks the ship off course and he winds up on a planet filled with gladiators. Well, as it turns out, these gladiators were actually the same strength as the Hulk and could actually hurt him. So, Bruce Banner and the Hulk made a deal. They would remain as the Hulk but keep Bruce Banner's mind. They both agreed that this was for the best, and they fought through the gladiatorial ranks until the Hulk was on top. The Hulk then led a revolution against the planet's leader, overthrowing him and ultimately giving the planet peace. And the Hulk found peace as well. He even had a wife who was pregnant with their unborn baby. But then the ship that brought him to the planet exploded, and it killed his wife and his unborn baby and millions of people as well. The Hulk is absolutely infuriated that his friends would rig the ship that sent him there to explode, killing his wife and millions of people, so he sets out to Earth. But first he stops off at the moon and easily defeats Black Bolt, and he sends a message to Earth telling them to evacuate the city because he's coming for blood. Tony Stark gets his Hulkbuster armor and calls in a whole slew of different heroes to try and take on the Hulk. Ultimately, he defeats them all, including Iron Man, the Fantastic Four, and even one of the strongest versions of Doctor Strange. He ends up imprisoning them all and makes them fight to death in an arena. But then Sentry shows up, and the Hulk and Sentry fight until they both revert back to their human forms. Bruce has finally calmed down and is about to call it quits until somebody in his group called the Warbound stabs Sentry. This person then revealed that he was the person that rigged his ship to blow up, killing his wife and unborn child and those millions of people because the Hulk taught him to always keep fighting. And this is where the Hulk gets madder than he has ever been before, so mad that gamma radiation is going through his eyes and out of his mouth. The Hulk slaps his hands together and the force is so strong that it shakes the entire Earth. He then stomps on the ground and with just one step causes earthquakes along the entire eastern seaboard. The Hulk then yells out at Tony Stark, telling him to use his ultimate weapon on him before he breaks the world. A satellite beam then shoots out from space and it reverts the Hulk back to Banner. So that's a quick recap of who Worldbreaker Hulk is. I recommend you read that story. But like you heard, there are already some things that have played out from this story in the MCU. At the end of Age of Ultron, the Hulk himself is the one who actually decides that he's not fit for Earth and he ultimately ends up on Sakaar. While on Sakaar, he ends up fighting through the ranks of the Gladiator arena until he is ultimately at the top. And then of course we all know about the revolution at the end.
The revolution has begun.
Revolution? How did this happen?
And then of course it's basically confirmed that we're going to get Professor Hulk in Avengers Endgame, which would align with the Hulk and Banner deciding to use the Hulk's body but use Bruce Banner's brain. So I definitely think that we're getting Professor Hulk in Avengers Endgame no matter what. That has basically been confirmed with official promo art from Marvel that has been released. But Professor Hulk has a limitation. In the comics, Professor Hulk has a failsafe inside of him for if he gets too angry, he will automatically revert back to Bruce Banner. This will not defeat Thanos. The Hulk has already lost to Thanos in Infinity War. And the Russo brothers, the directors of Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, have come out and said that when Thanos and the Hulk fought, Thanos was not using the Power Stone. So it was just hand-to-hand combat and Thanos kicked his butt. So if the Hulk wants to fight against Thanos, he's going to have to get angrier. He's going to have to get madder than he's ever been before. So the question is, what is going to send the Hulk over the edge to make him become Worldbreaker Hulk? And let me just clarify again, they're not going to take the story from the comics. Obviously, it's a completely different story and they won't call him Worldbreaker Hulk, but it will be a version of the Worldbreaker Hulk. So there are a few things that could send him over the edge, and that's what a lot of people are talking about right now. And the first one is a death, or multiple deaths. Right now, the most talked about is if Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, dies. We've kind of seen the love between them grow over the years, specifically in Age of Ultron, and there was kind of a flashback to that in Thor Ragnarok as well. And in Avengers Infinity War, we had that super not awkward moment.
Yeah, I'm back.
Hi, Bruce.
And Black Widow could possibly be Bruce Banner's only hope at love and a possible normal life. So that could send him over the edge, but also multiple deaths could send him over the edge as well. If you have people like Tony Stark and Steve Rogers dying, that could definitely do it. But I think one of the biggest factors that is going to come into play for Avengers Endgame is the Infinity Gauntlet and the Infinity Stones. We know that not just anybody can wield the power of the Infinity Stones, let alone the Infinity Gauntlet. So if they want to use the Infinity Gauntlet to undo the snap, somebody is going to have to wield it. And the Hulk is probably the perfect candidate, more like Thanos than anybody. Especially because if he gets angrier and angrier, he can't really die. But the Infinity Gauntlet is made out of Uru metal, just like Thor's axe Stormbreaker. And remember what Thor said about the weapons made from Uru metal. You simply lack the strength to yield it, your bodies would crumble and minds collapse into madness. The Infinity Gauntlet is a weapon made from Uru metal. You need a certain strength to wield it, and the Hulk may not have that at first. It may send his mind into madness, giving us Worldbreaker Hulk. But at the same time, the Avengers are going to need the strongest possible version of the Hulk that they can get. It may not even take the entire Infinity Gauntlet with all of the stones in it. Even if the Hulk holds an Infinity Stone in his hand, that could be enough to send him over the edge. It took Quill, Gamora, Rocket, and Drax, all of them to contain the power of the Power Stone, and Quill was part Celestial at the time. So some of the Infinity Stones could still be too much for the Hulk to handle. But it's the Hulk. He doesn't die, he just gets angrier and stronger and stronger. And this might actually be their plan. If they get a hold of an Infinity Stone, they know that none of them will really be able to wield it. Maybe Thor, maybe Captain Marvel. But they know that the Hulk can't die. You'll have a Hulk that continues to get stronger and stronger as he tries to contain the power of the Infinity Stone, and then you'll have the Infinity Stone. That would be the strongest version of the Hulk that we would see in Avengers Endgame. The Hulk at his strongest level combined with the power of an Infinity Stone. There's been a lot of talk about seeing the strongest possible versions of the original 6 Avengers, because we know that this is most likely the last time that we're going to see all of them together. Some of the characters will be retiring, so it would make sense that we would see the absolute best versions of them in Avengers Endgame. And this would definitely be the strongest version of the Hulk. So, let me know what you think about this. Do you think that we're going to get a version of Worldbreaker Hulk in Avengers Endgame, and if so, how do you think it's going to happen? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And again, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like the video so you can enter the giveaway and stay up to date on everything relating to Avengers Endgame. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.